welcome back to Constellation Station. I'm Nicole, an educator here at the Cincinnati Observatory, and today on Constellation Station, we're going to talk about how you can make an easy tie-dye mask at home. So I know a lot of you are going back to school, you're going to summer camp, you need masks to participate in those activities, so this is a fun way to make masks fun and easy to make. So you just need to start with a plain white mask. If you have one that's a different color that you want to use, that's okay, but the colors may not come out exactly the way you want. So I'm going to use this cotton mask here. Really whatever fabric mask that you have should work, but you want to make sure that it's washable because you'll need to wash it to make sure that the colors don't bleed out on your face. So we want to start with a white cotton reusable mask, and then you will probably have a lot of these other materials already at home. So you'll want permanent markers. So I have a few colors of permanent markers that I'm going to use today, and some rubbing alcohol. So I put some rubbing alcohol in this old glitter glue tube. Really, you just want something that can slowly drip your rubbing alcohol onto your mask. If you use one of the regular tubs that maybe you get to put on your scratches whenever you fall down, then it might come out too fast. So you want something that's good at slowly dripping. And what we're gonna make today is a galaxy on our mask. You can make anything you want. I recommend maybe something from space, like a really cool star or nebula or galaxy, but we are going to make a galaxy today, and I have a really fun galaxy called the Lost Galaxy that I'm gonna try to make on my mask. Now this Lost Galaxy has lots of different colors like red and blues, so those are the colors of markers that I'm going to use today, but you can use whatever colors that you'd like. Let's go ahead and get started. So for this part, I put on some rubber gloves. The ink from the permanent markers are going to bleed just a little bit, but that's what we want them to do. We just don't want them to get that all over your hands. So you'll want to use gloves for this part. So first what we're going to do is make the pattern of our object on our mask. So when you make your mask, you don't have to worry about covering your whole mask with markers because the alcohol is going to help spread out the markers. So you want to think about maybe making polka dots and lines that can then spread out, and the color can spread out once we add the alcohol. So my galaxy is kind of like a spiral galaxy. So I'm going to start with my red marker and go up and around on my mask to make a little bit of a spiral. This is one of the main colors in my galaxy, so I want to make sure that I have plenty of red to spread out. So I couldn't make a full line here. It's a little bit choppy, but that's okay because remember our ink is going to spread out. So I'm going to add some blue now because there's lots of blue stars in our galaxy here. So all these blue dots are my blue stars. Remember, stars are classified by their temperature, and the temperature gives them different colors. So that's why I see a lot of red and blue in my nebula. And then I have a silver Sharpie here. We can't use white, of course, because our mask is already white, but this is going to represent some of the white stars that are also in our galaxy too. And I'm going to put a lot right in the center because of the black hole in the center of the galaxy. There's a lot of extra light right there in the middle. And then I'm going to add a little bit more red going around the red line I already made, just because there's a little bit of some feathering along the side of the galaxy where we can see some red coming out from the sort of center line of red that we see. And then finally, I'm just going to do some stripes with black. Space, of course, is mostly just made of that. It's space, which means it's dark and it's cold and it's desolate. And so all of this black around the side is going to count as a kind of space around my galaxy. So again, we don't have to color in our whole mask. Our ink is going to spread out some, but just to show that our galaxy is in space. The best part about this activity is if you don't get it quite right the first time, you can come back and add more permanent marker later. So do your best on this first round. And then if you need to add more color later, you're welcome to do that too. So here's my starting point with my marker. I have my spiral galaxy here. And now I'm going to add some alcohol to it. So there's a few ways that you can do this. You can add your alcohol once this is maybe draped over a cup to let the alcohol sometimes fall through. If you don't mind your colors seeping together more, you can just have it on a surface that's protected. So I'm using this paint tray here because I know I can wash it really easily. So make sure you ask a parent about where you can safely do this activity. So now I'm just going to drip a little bit of alcohol on my mask, and the colors will start to spread out as I drip on there. So you can use as much or as little alcohol to spread out as you want. If you made a pretty exact pattern and you want it to stay pretty close to the same, then you might want to use less, but I want to make sure that mine can spread out a lot, especially around where I did my red lines, so you can see how red the galaxy is. So now I have my galaxy here with the colors all spread out. Now we have to let it dry. So we're gonna let it dry first. You wanna make sure it dries all of the way. And you wanna make sure it dries all the way before you even try to touch it. So once I take my gloves off, I don't wanna touch it until it's completely dry. And then to make sure it's extra, extra dry, we're gonna throw this in the dryer by itself for at least 5 or 10 minutes to really bake in our color. Then you wanna gently wash it and let it dry again before you wear it. Some of the colors are gonna fade. They may not look exactly like you made it the first time, but like I said, all you have to do is add more permanent marker, go through the process again, and your mask will get a little bit cooler every time. So we're gonna let this dry, and then we'll come back and check on it and see how it looks later. Now my mask is all finished. I have my galaxy here. You can see where I swirled all of my colors together in the black background. I love how it turned out. I hope you guys had fun making your masks, and share pictures of your mask with us on Facebook and Instagram. You can find us at Cincinnati Observatory. We'll see you guys next time here at Constellation Station.